Already, like, I didn't even know I had that much energy in me. Wow, where's all this energy coming from? Thank you again, Dynas. I love you. You're buying your way into my heart, as you always do, Dynas. You have bought your way into my heart. Deep down, deep down in the heart. You have bought your way into my emotional vortex, into the corners of my four-chambered heart. Hit it, Pepe. Yes. I am so very happy that we actually have a real Inside Star Citizen review tonight. It has been way too long since we have had one, and that is because they've hit the Billy mark. When they hit the Billy mark, I told you guys they were going to take a step back and they were going to say, hey, you know what, everybody that's got like anger, pitchforks, torches, I don't need you anymore. I got the Billies, right? And then they took the step back and they said, nope. We're not worried about all the stress anymore because we got the Billy. They're almost at a Billy. They're heading there. They'll get there. They're successful. That's what they do. Hi, I know I look like the Unabomber tonight. I'm sick. I want to not show all of my flaws. I'm covering myself up. My eyes got a sty. My head's blotchy. I feel like the Toxic Avenger, but I am here tonight because I love you. It is here that I belong. Even in my Toxic Avenger state, I am still here tonight. And that's right. This is not a fake Inside Star Citizen review because that is my newest thing. I love fake Jared and fake Inside Star Citizen review. It is awesome. Tonight, we are going to watch the real Inside Star Citizen. And it's about engineering. And I'm sure there's going to be people that are like, oh no, I can't solo an Idris anymore. Blah, blah. We're going to get into that. We're going to talk about that. We're going to watch a video on people that are in 4 or 5 that are with the new engineering. And we're going to see if, in fact, you can't solo larger ships anymore, which I don't think that's a bad thing, considering the fact that you'll be eventually able to hire NPCs to crew your ship. And people that are bitching and crying about it really need to shut up. Because long term, you're going to be able to solo it with NPC. No time soon, though. It's been way too long. I had a Thanksgiving with lots of food. I'm using all of the food from Thanksgiving as my storage, my battery, and I'm going to burn it off tonight. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Rev. And thank you very much, Mad Style. Mad Style says, SC 146 million this year so far. Smashing record-breaking year. Yes, Mad Style. People keep trying to put this title down. People keep saying, oh, the people that follow this is all copium. They're just huffing on the copium, blah, 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 blah. They have no clue. They don't understand. They are just, frankly, don't watch them. Don't watch those people.
So we've been talking about engineering in one way or another for several years now.
Yep.
Whether that's ISC.
I am really looking forward to see what you all will be doing with it.
Or SCL.
Is engineer this absolutely enormous behemoth thing that's going to ruin everybody's experience?
If you're into that, yes.
Yeah.
Or even 2 different CitizenCon presentations.
We already talked about it several times, but wait, there's one more thing.
When I was dressed up as a late-night television host vampire and dumping sand throughout the LA office without permission.
Amazing.
Don't ever do this again! They're begging me not to continue! But we will show them! Count Disco does not know how to listen!
Yes, it was a different time. But over the years, the systems have continued to evolve, and now, after 7 videos, several Arena Commander and tech preview tests, and the current PTU cycle underway now, we've never been closer to bringing the next evolution of spaceflight to life ahead of our intended release later this month. So rather than go through every detail once again of what you're already experiencing on the PTU now,
You know, this is, people are going to get mad at me. Hold on a second.
intended release later this month.
1 second.
So rather than go through every detail once again of what you're already...
You see this system, how they're formatting this? Do you see how they're designing the ships like this? Man, this just tells me that in the far, far, far off future, and I'm talking way far off, that the optionality is going to be there for people to set their ship and engineer and line it and plan their engineering the way that they want to. I do believe wholeheartedly that we're talking way down the road that we're going to have dual universe features on these ships. Oh my God, DG, don't say that, feature creep. Oh my God, what are you saying? Oh God, suck it. Suck it. Way far in the far off future, I can already see this. I can see it right here. They can literally put this in the game and you can line up the engineering the way that you want to, and it will give you that optionality for people that are hardcore into making their ship custom. It'll happen. It'll happen. I already see it because I see it right here. I see it in this format and I know it'll happen. I know eventually it's going to happen. It'll be the evolution of ships. Think about this. Think about this for a moment. What did Chris say about ship sales? He said, let me reiterate, said no ship sales after the game is finished. So how do you think they're going to bring in revenue after the fact of the statement that no, there will be no ship sales after the game is released? Well, guess what? You want customization? Do you want to be able to do more in your ship? Oh, okay. Well, let's charge you a certain amount of money, and now you're going to be able to customize the ship the way that you want it to. It's in the cards. It's in the future. They've got to figure something out.
Experiencing on the PTU now, I sat down with Torsten for this short discussion of what I'm calling Inside Star Citizen.
It gets so deep.
Talking with Torsten.
Good, Torsten.
About engineering before it's been released. And that's why we didn't do another CitizenCon thing this year. All right, we can probably shorten it to just talking with Torsten. Yeah.
So, right off the bat, it's been a year since we did that last ISC on engineering. What's the same? What's changed?
We didn't change a lot. What did change is the main direction of the feature itself.
Just the main direction.
Just the main direction. Technically, everything that you had in the Arena Commander, everything that we talked about still stands true. So everything that we discussed, all the intentions we had, still stands true. We had before, like, the direction of things have to happen. You have to be on your toes. You have to be very reactive to everything that is happening. We noticed that this is not particularly fun. So
just giving people something to do is not enough.
Giving people something to do can be really fun, but it pulls too much attention to these rather than of the gameplay that you should experience.
Warning, fire detected.
So the direction...
Thank you, Wooksy. How you doing, buddy? Don't worry about being late, man. You shaved your legs for this? Okay.
that we got was, and we are now acting on, is that engineering gameplay is there to extend the lifetime of the ships rather than making your life miserable on a ship.
Nice and fresh for Wooksy.
It's a nice change.
I think it might be worth it, yes.
Let's refresh ourselves on the basics of how it works for people who haven't gone back and watched the 7 previous videos. The first thing is preemptive or preventative, the stuff that happens before things happen. Tell me how you use engineering to prepare your ship.
One of the main things right now that you have to do, or you should do, is prepare for travels. So you should buy fuses ahead of time so that you can replace them once they break on the ship. You should buy enough filled RMC canisters so that you are able to repair the...
Good, this is exactly what I wanted to see. Thank you, Eric. gifting out 5 community sub gifts like a boss. I love you, Eric. You are awesome. Thank you so much. You are the man with the plan. You are the saint with the paint. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You know, this is exactly what I want to see from engineering. I hear so much crying about it. The amount of crying on engineering where people feel like they're not going to be able to solo their addresses, not understanding that they will be able to hire NPC in the way future when NPC work and react the way that we want them to, which will be a while. The amount of crying and moaning about the engineering process this is what we always wanted. Like, people obviously coming in way late on this, and they don't get the fact that this is going to be ever evolving, always getting deeper and deeper. Each new game loop, each new mechanic evolving into something much deeper, because each profession actually demands it. Because as you go deeper down this loop, what ends up happening is more people keep interested in the game, because it's more than just, you know, right now it's just canisters for repair, right? Right now it's very simple. Right now we're at that moment where it's very simple, but everything evolves to the point where the gameplay will get deeper and deeper. This is exactly what every one of us wanted from the very beginning. And every time I hear people start to cry about this, it's like they don't understand the game. They don't get what this game is going to be. They'd rather have something super simplistic and then cry and bitch and moan about the things that are happening right now, because frankly, they don't understand the scope and they don't understand the game.
Components on site. So this is like the prep work, the first, hopefully, 5 minutes, if we can make something work.
He's trying to get vendors added to the spaceports so that you don't have to run around. We'll see if we end up with that or not. I'll say it. You don't have to say it. Continue.
For bigger ships that allow components to be swapped out in fight or in your travels, you can also prepare by buying components and then storing them on the ship so that you can replace them.
So first part of engineering resource network is preparation. In the single seat ships, the fighters and stuff, does this still affect their day-to-day life?
Nope. That much.
So
no.
Yes, but no. so engineering gameplay affects everything. What engineering gameplay does there is that it extends the lifetime. So imagine you are on your single-seater fighter, you're not doing too well, and you barely survive. Now you can use the MFD to repair the components that allow you to travel back home. So this is the extension of the lifetime of the ship that you invested time in.
And so then for ships with interiors up to the bigger multi-crew ships, the next big change with engineering is a damage to your components.
So on the ships with interior, you will have access to the components. By having access to the components, there's the chance for you to repair on-site or repair while they are taking damage. Normally, you would die in the game that is like at 4.4, but with engineering gameplay, you would be able then to point the repair gun at the component, bring it back from 0 health to full health, so you get your power plant back, or you extinguish the fire, repair afterwards, and then you're ready to go. And that scales now with the amount of people that you can fit on your ship. So yes, the next chapter of engineering is repairing and exchanging of components.
Yes, repairing is going to be super important for larger ships. Also livability, durability in larger ships, cap ships especially, where now we're going to have to figure out a way in which people are going to be able to log in and be in the ship that they are assigned to. That's going to be a big hurdle. That right there is really important to the fun of the game. Being able to log into your ship, like being able to log into a friend's ship, or being able to log in and live from the ship, that's going to be a hurdle they're going to have to hit. It's almost an impossible hurdle, but that's actually what we wanted from the very beginning. When you're assigned to a ship, you live on the ship, the ability to share the ship with friends, to log into the ship, to use the ship, right, with trusted friends in an organization, man, that's really the dream. Put a 1 if you agree with me. I think that is going to be the most difficult part of the process. I do like where they're going with engineering. I do like the fact that they're doing repair work here. I mean, like we're going into the repair field. We're going into an area where the items are going to get more complex, and the actual gameplay is going to become more complex. But we're at like the origin first point of this. But I see where it's going. And for people that doubt me, for people that are like thinking I'm crazy, you know, I've been with this project for so long. I've seen the changes. I've seen how deep they'll go. Just look at mining as an example. You know, mining was very simplistic at first, and now it's still simplistic, but there's deeper meaning. Look at all the new items with mining, right? And that will continue to get deeper, right? So they're going to do it with engineering. They're going to do it with refining. They're going to continually do these on every game loop that there is. And that is the whole, that's going to be what makes people keep coming back. That is what's going to make the game more successful. That's what's going to keep people spending money. The biggest hurdle, though, is going to be like, what I see when I hear engineering is I'm feeling like this is the first steps towards figuring out how we can basically live on a ship, right? And I hope that they implement engineering for future star bases. That'll be really great. And engineering for your land ownership, right? I mean, like engineering should be a facet built into durability and survivability, both on ships and places like larger ships where you're going to live, HABs, you know, land ownership, anything that needs power. Engineering needs to be a big part of the gameplay. And again, people that are crying about this, I don't think they understand the game. I don't think they get the level that we want from this game. Hardcore people that have backed us from the very beginning want this level of complexity. It's what makes us keep coming back. It's what makes us interested and keep when we can keep playing. This is why I miss Inside Star Citizen. This is why I want more of this. Because it gives me a window into like how I see they're going to plan into the future. Them bringing engineering into this brings a lot into focus for me. Somebody who's been covering this for a very long time, when I see they're bringing this in like this, it's much easier for me to see the future of where they're going to develop this to. And I love it.
Potentially exchanging fuses.
And it's not just managing the components, it's managing the relays.
Make it hardcore,
how do the relays work?
They changed a little. So if you recall in the early tech preview and even the early Arena Commander mode, relays were like the weak point of any ship. We thought back in the day that this is a really, really good idea. And to a degree it would be. But with ships where some relays are placed in a very accessible position for getting shot at some point there will be the expert players that will just target those and you will be rendered useless within a blink of an eye, which disagrees with the statement of we have to bump up the TTK here. So relays and fuses are still relevant, but if a relay does not hold any fuses anymore, basically the ship cannot support the full amount of power that the power plant would allow you to have. It makes sense to repair or restock the fuses.
But it's not.
Yeah, it makes sense for that. Also, it makes sense for additional game design in hacking and security. You see, like every new thing that they layer into the ships in terms of the design brings upon a new element in ship design. We've seen this from the very beginnings, from the origins of the Connie. We've seen how the work they've done on the Connie, and then we see newer ships come to this game where they bring in the new design elements, and each new ship that comes in, new elements come in. This is the way that the game has progressed thus far. We are going to eventually get a point where there is going to be security measures inside ships where you will be able to look into a panel and lock doors and secure your ship the way that you want. You can custom it that way. It's going to be fantastic. It's going to be fabulous. It's going to be really cool gameplay.
Not going to stop your cold. It's not going to prevent doors from opening anymore. No. If you don't effectively address the needs of your components and everything, it can now generate a new hazard for the interiors of spaceships: fire.
Warning, fire detected.
Fires, security.
So fire can happen in several ways in our game. So one aspect is exterior induced damage to your ship. that can cause fire. Components will trigger fire based on hits from bullets. So energy weapons are right now the most effective one in setting interiors on fire if they hit the components on the interior, versus ballistics, they have a very small chance of igniting the components. And the next big thing is mismanagement of your ship. So if you make your ship run too hot, so if you, for example, think you don't need the full power on your coolers, that means that all the other components start to overheat. We have a system in place that basically has the auto shut off of some of the components, but sometimes that might not be enough. So the temperature rises so high that the component itself incinerates, and then you have a fire due to this systemic approach. And then the third type is malfunctions. These are induced by the wear and tear. So the higher the wear and tear of the component, the higher the chances is in different stages that they can trigger an ignition.
You've repaired it a few times, but you haven't replaced it.
Correct, yes.
And in dealing with fire, how do you deal with fire?
So you have the extinguisher that we now place in.
There will be a extinguisher multi-tool snap-on. Don't you guys think? I think that the fact that they've designed these on the ship are great, but there's going to be like a multi-tool extinguisher. There has to be. You know, you're going to find that if they're only going to give us these in the ship, it's not going to be sufficient enough. I already smell it. I already smell it in the cards.
Every ship, which is the active counter to that, the more fire extinguisher
it'll be on a
point to the same fire. So
yeah, it'll be a multi-tool attachment.
That's the most straightforward way. The next way is venting the ship. And for the release, the way that you will be able to do that is by daisy chaining doors. So what you have to do, basically open the door next to the next door, so that you at some point reach a door that leads to the exterior.
And vent the atmosphere.
And vent the atmosphere out.
Sounds like when you're the second player playing Gyromite back in the day. So yeah, repairing with replacement components and fuses if you have interiors, repairing those components and replacing those fuses if they take damage, and then dealing with fires. That's essentially the engineering loop that's on its way in 4.5. We've recently been in tech preview testing. How's that been going?
The feedback that we received is helped us a lot, and helped us also to make some points in some of the changes that we have been seeing now between the different tech previews, which is really good because it brings the gameplay to exactly what we want to have, which is extending lifetime of ships and not being an annoyance, a constant annoyance. One thing that had to come with the engineering gameplay is a full rebalance. So a full rebalance of all weapons, of all ship components, of like basically how our character, the ship, functions in the game. I think we are approaching right now a good baseline for the release. So I'm hoping that we get some more testing in.
This is a big one.
The longer we have the tech preview running, the more we see what needs still to be updated. So
now, at the time that this airs, because we're recording this rather early in November, we'll be on PTU. We'll be on PTU with full-blown testing for an intended December release, which is really exciting. Ending the year with a new star system wasn't quite enough. We want to end the year with this gameplay system. It's going to fundamentally change every spaceship in the game that we've been talking about for 5 years at this point. As far as every ship, we say it will affect every ship, but not every ship equally at the time of this release. My understanding is there's about 80 ships at the point of 4.5 release that have everything. There's about 30 ships in various states of conversion. Some have engineering screens but don't have physicalized components. Some have physicalized components but don't have engineering screens. Through all of it, you'll be able to use engineering in one way or another. Last thing you want to say to folks as they're testing in PTU now and they see this ahead of its intended release before the end of December.
Yeah, so I definitely need to shout out like the people that have been sticking around with me and with everyone involved in that feature. It's a huge group, but the core people that really deserve a lot of like praise are Guillermo, and Scott.
I like that. That's cool that he's
my key
acknowledging
personnel
the team.
That without them we wouldn't be here. So
I
with
really
that
like
out
that.
of the way,
That's cool, dude.
the feature is made to stay. This is Star Citizen. This is the definition of Star Citizen. This is what we always wanted, and finally we have it.
Where we've been talking about going for the last 5 years, yeah.
It doesn't mean, though, that what you see right now is set in stone. So we appreciate all the feedback that we receive. We are aware that we don't deliver something that is perfect right away. So we need your help, as always, to point out the things where we can still improve. We are not done yet with engineering gameplay. There are still things that we have on the list. And we are consciously holding back those ideas right now because we think we already gave a lot and we are a bit scared of overwhelming the players a bit. And now we want to observe you playing that and basically figuring out what still needs to be added or even what we need to adjust.
Well, that's Torsten Lyman on engineering, available on PTU right now. If you haven't jumped in and given it a try, do so. And yeah, as we head towards our December release for 4.5.
Oh, and as a coda, since we recorded this, we've also decided to add armor into this release as well.
Oh.
So keep a lookout for the upcoming engineering guide that'll go out with the release of 4.5 to learn more.
All right.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you all again next year.
How are they adding armor? Hold on. Star Citizen armor update. Find that. Yeah, that I'm glad they did this. I really like these. It gives me a view into the future and where they intend to actually focus on game development going forward with ship design, because really every new element that they're doing here is like another layer on the onion of ship design. I really do think that this is a really big update. Engineering is something that many people wanted. It will focus on people with larger ships, making sure that not one person can fly it until, like I said again, for people that are crying and bitching and moaning, saying, "Oh, I won't be able to solo fly an Idris," realize in the future that you will be able to hire NPC crew and thus solo fly it with your NPC crew. It's just not going to happen right away because we're an alpha people, okay? And I know it's, people think it's ridiculous this far along saying it's still an alpha, but this is the reason why it's an alpha, because of how complex and deep the gameplay will get, and how long this is taken is directly related to everything we want in the game, which, by the way, I entitled this game the Everything Game. This is the Everything Game. So in this video, it's interesting to me because we're seeing them actually focus on engineering a little bit more than we were accustomed to. I think it's a long time coming for me. Like, I really wanted this to happen sooner. I think engineers are very happy that these changes are in here. You're going to need to stock fuses. You're going to need RMC canisters for repairs. So these are the two elements that will be important. And the repairing of ships, well, I got to say that's going to be something that there's going to be a lot more focus on in the future. Ship repairs with RMC canisters need to happen faster. Like that whole process where you're using the RMC gun with the larger canisters, that repair process needs to happen quicker. It's very slow right now. They need to speed that up. Obviously engineering with single seat fighters is not going to be as huge an issue compared to larger ships. But relays and fuses are going to be very important. And we talked about fire again. We've been talking about fire forever. It's going to be interesting to see that in the game finally and be able to get the extinguishers, put the fire out, see how that reacts. I really like that. And these guys are open to conversation regarding if we think this is fun or not. And that's really why I love Star Citizen. They're very reactive on what the community wants. The important part is that they listen to the people that are the most hardcore backers that are rooting for them, not the people that are the loudest, squeakiest wheel and have the largest audiences because they monetize people, because they aren't doing it for the love of the game. They're doing it for their YouTube channel. It's important they listen to the right people. It's important that they listen to the fans of the game, not the people that are the squeakiest wheels. Always bitching and moaning about everything, that the sky is falling, and bringing people in just to click and bait them. That is not this channel. This channel is devoted to actual things happening in the business, game development, and trying to be as positive as possible. That is what DG360 does here when we cover when we cover anything game related, trying to get to the truth of the matter. Thank you very much. If you're watching on YouTube, definitely like and share this. Spread the word. Very excited about where we're going with Star Citizen.